So I gave you one ER diagram for practice at your home. Many of you have sent me that pictures which you have drawn by yourself and which was very correct. I have identified that many students have correctly understood what is ER diagram and what can be included in entities and what can be included in attributes. You have most of you have also added each and every attribute type, simple attribute, composite attributes. So that was the good part. So few of you, I will name you. You have to present your screen or you have to show your ER diagram that how you have drawn that. Okay. So we will see 3 to 4 diagrams by your friends and then we will move forward to our lecture. Uh, Devin, Devin, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Devin, can you present your screen to show us your ER diagram?
Ma'am, I don't know what's that.
You don't know what is ER diagram?
No idea about that. What to?
Okay, Bhavin, 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 am I audible to you? Okay, Ishan, Ishan,
Yes, ma'am.
Ishan, can you please show us your ER diagram?
Ma'am, I have not done that yet.
You have not done that?
No.
Okay. Jinal, Jinal,
Yes, ma'am.
have you done ER diagram?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, I just forgot.
You just forgot. Mehak,
Yes, ma'am.
Mehak, have you drawn ER diagram?
No, ma'am, I forgot that.
Okay, anyone who has drawn ER diagram? Many of you have sent me and that was correct. So you can present that here so that we can show your friends examples of ER diagram. Anyone?
Can I?
Yeah, Anjan, please.
Ma'am, it's invisible.
Yeah, but it is not visible correctly. I mean, you are not presenting your screen, right? Yeah. Yeah, can you just say which entities you have used and what are the attributes? Okay, you have done diagram for college, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the entity here is college, then HOD, then student,
Yes,
then
yes,
fourth one is
professor.
professor. Okay, and they are connected with the relation of department. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, fine. So this is good examples for your ER diagram. You can see here there are many entities and also he has shown attributes, different attributes. He has also shown sub attributes. And Anjan, wherever you are giving primary key to enrollment ID or GR number, to whomsoever you are giving primary key, you need to underline that. That will show that this is primary key.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. See, college ID is primary key.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, college ID nahi, lekin enrollment number, that is primary key. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, and you have also shown here with a dash line age because it can be derived from birth
Date.
of date of birth. Sorry, so that is very correct. And yeah, so everything is covered, I think, in this diagram. Anyone else? Shuchi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Shuchi, can you show your diagram, please?
Yeah, just a second, ma'am.
Yeah. See, students, many of you have sent me the pictures, but still you are saying that you forgot or you forgot to draw or you have not done that yet. So this is high time you do your ER diagram because tomorrow each and everyone I will ask ER diagram. Okay, tomorrow we will practice EI diagram only. So tomorrow everyone have to show their ER diagram. If it is not done, then I don't think you would be able to do that in exam also. So you have to do that. Okay. Yeah. So here Shuchi has drawn ER diagram for college. Entities are admission, timetable, fees, student. Okay. Shuchi, you have not shown relation between them. For example, okay, relation is admission. Okay, okay. Student is taking admission in here. See, Shuchi, relation name and entity name that should not be same. Here you have shown admission as entity also and admission as relation also.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so here
Yeah.
you can give entity as department and admission relation, that is okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Then timetable, then professor, then fees. Okay, other things are correct, but you still people you need to work on entities. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
See,
Yeah.
for example, if I'm asking you to draw ER diagram for online shopping system, this is for everyone. Please pay attention here. If I'm asking you to show example of draw ER diagram of online shopping system, then entity should be admin, customer, then user, or you can say okay customer, or delivery boy. If you are doing online payment, then entity should be bank. Okay, if you are not doing online payment, then bank is not needed. If you are only writing off for cash on COD mode, okay, cash on delivery mode, then online payment is not needed, so that bank is not needed. But if you are doing online payment, then bank should be one entity. Okay, so this is the way how you identify entities, how you will identify relation between entities. Student is taking admission in some department, so department and student, that are entities, and admission is one relation. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so any doubt in ER diagram, everyone? Any doubt in ER diagram? Tomorrow each and every one of you have to show me ER diagram. What you draw, you have to show me that. Okay, you have to present your screen. So any doubt here? Is it clear? ER diagram is clear? Okay. So now we will move to our next topic. Just we will see what we started in ER diagram. Okay. Okay, so here in ER diagram, we saw ER means entity relationship diagram, how entities are related to each other, what kind of relation is established between entity and entity to entity. Okay, so here we saw different kinds of attributes. In attributes, we saw simple attribute, also composite attribute, simple attribute which cannot be divided into other attributes, or you can say sub attributes, and composite attribute can be divided into sub attributes. Okay, then single valued and attribute and multi-valued attribute. That is, employee ID is single valued attribute because employee can have only one employee ID. Your enrollment number is single valued attribute. Okay, you can have only one enrollment number. Then there is multi-valued attribute, that is phone number, email ID, that can be multi-valued attribute. Okay, Next, there is derived attribute. We saw that in derived attribute, value is derived, or you can say it is calculated from other attribute. For example, age, birth of date can, age can be calculated with birth of date. So we are drawing age as derived attribute, and it is represented as dashed oval. Okay, see here in age, it is dashed oval. Okay, so this was our attribute part. Then we saw what is relationship set, how one entity is related with another entity, that is relationship set. Okay, in relationship set, we also saw that how student can, if student is related to book, he can issue book. Okay, or you can say how student is related to library, he can go to library and he can issue book again. So here you can write library or you can write simple book. Okay, so that is relation between student and book. Then we saw mapping cardinality. In mapping cardinality, there are 4 types: one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, or many-to-many. One-to-one, one entity is related to only one entity. In set A, A1 is related to B1. That is one-to-one. Okay, and one-to-one here again, please pay attention. Here we saw in one-to-one how it is shown. It is shown by arrow. Okay, so both are connected by one-to-one. So here then we saw that one-to-many, one will be connected with many. So here arrow is given to one and loan is given to many. Okay, next, many to one. Many customer can take only one loan. That is many to one relationship. Okay, please remember this sign, this arrow sign. Then many to many. Whenever we are checking your diagram, we are checking these small details to check whether your concept is clear or not, and your marks can be cutted by it. Okay, it will be affected in your marks. So please pay attention here. Many to many. How many to many is shown that many customer can borrow many loans. Okay, so here there was example of simple library management system. In library management system, we have taken 3 entities, that is books, publisher, and member. Okay, these are the 3 entities. Book and publisher, they are connected via one relationship set, that is called published by. Book is published by some publisher. Okay, then book is connected with member via borrow by. Book is borrowed by some member. Okay, so here in attribute, books are having attribute author, book ID, which is shown with underline, that means it is primary key. Okay, then title, price, available, these are the attributes. Okay, next, in publisher, what are the attributes of publisher? First one, publisher ID, that is primary key, so it is covered with underline. And you can see here that whenever we write primary key, we do not keep space in between. See here, for example, expiry date, we are not keeping space in between. Okay, so these are the attributes for member and these are the attributes for borrower. Okay, borrower does not have any primary key. You can, sorry, this relation set does not have any primary key. Okay, relation set is having attribute, but it is not having primary key. Okay, so our next topic is participation constraint. What is participation constraint? How one entity is participated to another. Okay, how one thing is participated to another thing via relationship set, that is participation. It specifies the participation of an entity set in a relationship set. There are 2 types of participation constraint. First one is total and second one is partial. In total participation, every entity in the entity set participates in at least one relationship in the relationship set. It is compulsory for every entity to participate in at least one relationship in relationship set. That is total participation. Okay, it is compulsory. It is denoted by double line. And next one is participation, partial participation. That is, some entities in the entity set may not participate. Here, for entity, it is not compulsory to participate in any relationship of relationship set. Okay, and it is denoted by single line. Let us see the example. You can see here, customer and loan, that are entities. Okay, loan and customer, which is represented by rectangle, that is entity. Here there is one relationship set, that is borrow. Okay, so what is total participation? Let us see first total participation. Loan will be borrowed by customer. Okay, it is compulsory that if there is loan, that means someone has borrowed it. It is compulsory, right? So that is total participation, which we are denoting with two lines, double lines, you can say. Okay, and in partial participation, you can say that customer is not always borrowing loan. Okay, if I am having account in bank and if you are also having account in bank, so let's say for example, only we both are having account in one bank, and if there is one loan taken from bank, that means that either you have taken the loan or I would have taken the loan, right? So let's say for example, I have taken the loan. So loan is taken by customer, that is compulsory, because if we both have not taken the loan, then why there exists any term called loan? Okay, so that is total participation. It is compulsory that loan will be taken by some customer. Now, for every customer, it is not necessary that he will take the loan. You are also having account in bank, but you have not taken loan. I am having and I have taken loan. So that is partial participation. Customer can take loan, but it is not compulsory that every customer will take loan. Okay, am I clear here? Any doubt?
No, yeah, you are clear.
Okay, see, you have to apply these all things in your ER diagram. So tomorrow I will give you one definition. Today you have to draw ER diagram on that, and tomorrow when we will discuss your ER diagram, at that time I want to see each and everything your diagram. Okay, so you have to keep this participation constraint also. Okay, so see here example is given that there are 3 customers in bank and there are 2 loans in bank. So loan 1 is taken by customer 1, loan 2 is taken by customer 2, but customer 3 has not taken any loan, and that is partial participation. Okay, now there is new concept in ER diagram, that is weak entity set. Entities are also having weak entities and strong entity. Okay, what is weak entity set? An entity set that does not have a primary key is called weak entity set. For example, let us say here all 3 books, publisher and member, all 3 are having primary key, right? But let us say member does not have any primary key. Okay, this thing is not existed here. So what it will show, that is weak entity set. Okay, that is weak entity. It is denoted by double rectangle symbol. You have to draw double rectangle symbol on weak entity. When a weak entity set is connected with strong entity set by some relation, then the relation is known as weak relationship set. If this member is connected with books by some relation borrowed by, then what this relation would be said? It would be said weak relationship set. Okay, why? Because one entity is weak entity here, that's why. Okay, it is denoted by double diamond. Weak relation will be denoted by double diamond, weak entity will be denoted by double rectangle. Okay, a discriminator, this is new word for you. Discriminator in weak entity set distinguish all other entities. Now see, if there is no primary key in any entity, or you can say in your database, if one table is not having any primary key, then how it will distinguish between different other, distinguish that entity with other entities? That is with discriminator. What is discriminator? It is denoted by dashed line. To make relationship stronger, the primary key is created by combining discriminator of weak entity and primary key of strong entity. That means, let's say here member is not having any primary key, but books is having one primary key. Okay, so here let us say expiry date is one discriminator. Okay, so how this thing will be connected? Members and books, they will be connected by discriminator and by primary key, which will create composite primary key, which will create composite primary key. So discriminator and primary key of different entities will create composite primary key. Now let us take example. Here you can see that loan entity named loan, and entity named payment. This is partial participation and this is total participation. Why? Because if you are doing payment, that means you have taken loan, right? If you are doing loan payment, that means you have taken loan. But if you have taken loan, it is not necessary you will always do payment. Okay, there are many people we know and many good examples who have not done payment of their loan, right? So this is called total participation, payment to loan payment, and this is called partial participation. Okay, they both are connected with one relationship called LP, loan payment relationship. Okay, now see here in loan, we can see here there is one primary key. That is why we have underlined that number. Okay, loan number, that is primary key. Now here in payment, we do not have any primary key. We do not have any primary key. So what does we have? We have discriminator, that is payment number. This is discriminator. Okay, which we are showing with dashed line. Okay, so how you can say that this is weak entity set, this is strong entity set, and this is weak entity relationship, because weak entity is connected to strong entity. Okay, in the above example, the relationship can be made stronger by creating primary key by combining discriminator of weak entity set and primary key of strong entity set. Now we are creating primary key. How we are creating primary key? That is, we are combining weak entity set and strong entity set by discriminator and primary key, that is loan number and payment number. So in above example, payment number, which is discriminator of payment, and loan number, which is primary key of loan, combines to generate composite primary key as loan number, comma primary number, that is composite primary key. Okay, am I clear here? Any doubt? Any doubt in weak entity set and in participation constraint? Anyone? I can ask any one of you. Okay, if I feel that everyone is knowing everything, then I will ask you in between only. And tomorrow also I will ask that why you have not used weak entity set, or why you have not drawn ER diagram. You have to draw that. I am using the word have to. That means you have to draw that. So now next thing is extended ER diagram. Now see, there are few more thing in ER diagram. So we are new features in ER diagram. So here we are saying extended ER diagram. The process of creating subgroups within an entity is called specialization. Now first you need to understand the term specialization. What is specialization? Whenever you are going to create subgroups within an entity, that will be called as specialization. Okay, in attributes we saw that there would be sub attribute. Name would be first name, middle name and last name, right? So that are sub attributes. Now if entity is creating any subgroup, then we will call that specialization. So this is top down design process, because one entity would be main entity, then that would be creating different entities. So this is top down design process. Designate group subgroupings within an entity set that are distinctive from other entities in that set. Okay, the process of taking a subset of higher level entity set to form a lower level entity set, that is called specialization. So here specialization is explained in different lines. Okay, in different sentences. It uses a triangle component labeled as ISA. Now what is the notation of specialization? That is, it will draw one small triangle which will be labeled as ISA, or you can say is A. The full form is A. Okay. Now see here, there is example of specialization. Person is one entity, name, street, and city. These are the attributes. Person is one entity. Now, what we are doing here is we are subgrouping person into different field. So this is the notation of this triangle is the notation of specialization. Okay. So how we are subgrouping it? That is, person can be employee, or you can say person can be customer also. In online shopping system, we are discussing about user. User can be admin, or you can say user can be customer also. Okay. The person who use it, admin can also use it and customer can also use it. Okay. So that is specialization. Again, employee and customer. Employee is again creating subgroupings of different person. That is officer. Employee can be officer, employee can be tailor, or employee can be secretary. Okay. So here again the symbol is A notation is used, which shows specialization. Employee can be officer, employee can be tailor, and employee can be secretary. Then there are different attributes of different person. Okay. So is it clear? Specialization is clear to you? Any doubt in specialization? Because we are going to refer similar concept to specialization. So if you have any doubt here, then you can ask right now. No doubt? Okay. Okay. So next concept in extended ER diagram is generalization. Similar to specialization but opposite of it. Okay. Somewhat similar but opposite of specialization. That is, the process of creating a main group from different entities is called generalization. What we are doing in specialization, person would be subgrouped into employee and customer. Employee would be subgrouped in officer, tailor, and secretary. In generalization, what it is said, the process of creating a main group from different entities is called generalization. Now here we are having different entities. Start from downside: officer, tailor, and secretary, right? This officer, tailor, and secretary. Now they are performing one main group, that is called employee. Okay, that is employee. So this is generalization. We are generalizing these three people: officer, tailor, and secretary. We are generalizing into one entity, that is employee. That all three of them are employee. Okay, so that is generalization. Bottom up design process combine a number of entity set that share the same features into a higher level entity set. Okay, we can say the process of specialization is top down. It is starting from top and it is going to down. Okay, that is specialization. Now the process of generalization is bottom up. It is starting from bottom. We are we are doing main group for officer, tailor, and secretary. Okay, so this is bottom up, and that was specialization was top down. Okay. The process of combining two or more low-level entity set to generate high-level entity set. Here, these are low-level entity set, which will be generated to higher level, that is employee. Okay. Uses a triangle component labeled as is A. Here we are using same triangle component, or you can say notation, that is A. Okay. So now anyone is confused between specialization and generalization? Anyone, any query, any doubt in specialization and generalization? Not only in this semester, but this diagram you have to draw for all next semesters. Okay, ER diagram and other different diagrams that you have to draw for all next semesters. So if you have any doubt, then you can ask right now. No doubt. Okay. Ravi Bhatt is saying confusion between bottom up and top down. Repeat specialization. Repeat once. Yes, ma'am. Repeat generalization. Okay, okay. Okay, good. You people are asking, that is very good. See, what does specialization say? Specialization say that whenever you are subgrouping the main entity into different entities, that is specialization. So that process is called top down. You are going from top and you are going down. That is specialization. Okay. Now, in generalization, what is the simple process? That is, you are going from down to up. That is bottom up. Okay, how you are going from down to up? In generalization, the concept is you are doing the main group of sub entities. So you are, what here you are doing? Officer, then tailor and secretary. You are combining all these three into one main entity, that is called employee entity. Okay, all these three things are combined into one main thing, that is employee. So it is going from down to up, right? So this is going from bottom up. So this is called bottom up process. And in specialization, you are moving from top to down, so that is called top down process. Is it clear now? See, if you have any doubt, you can ask right now. That is okay. I can repeat 10 times also if you want. So if you have any doubt, Ravi, is it clear? You were confused between bottom up and top down. Is it clear, Ravi? So what the difference between both? Breeze, whenever you are climbing the stair, at that time you can say you are going from bottom, you are reaching at top. That is generalization. And whenever you are going from up to down, at that time you can say it is Ravi specialization. Ravi, but specialization is not clear. Okay, and Breeze, what is the difference between both? So, Breeze, am I clear with the difference? That specialization means you are doing subgroups of main thing. Not clear? Okay. See, again. Okay, see again. If I say, for example, let's say there are many employees in Marward University. Okay, so employee does not mean only faculty or only peon. We all are employee. Okay, so main group is employee and subgroup would be faculty, HOD, dean, peon, sweepers, everyone, right? We all are employees. So we all are at one level. Okay, and that is specialization. And if I say I want to generalize something, there are different things are given: students, HOD, faculties, then peon, each and everything is given there. If now someone is saying that you have to generalize this, that means that you have to make some you have to sort this out. Okay, so what I will do, I will group faculties, HOD, dean and everyone into one group, that, and I will call that employee. Okay, is it clear what you mean by top and bottom? That is in hierarchy. Yeah, that is in you can say that is in hierarchy. See, Mehak, whenever I say that I am going from top to bottom, that means I am going from, for example, let's say I am going from employee to officer, tailor and secretary. Okay, so this is top to bottom, because from main thing I am going to sub part, or I am going to subdivisions. Okay, so that is specialization. So I can say this is top down process. From upper level to I am going lower level. That means I am elaborating the things. That is specialization. And in generalization, what I said, in generalization I said I am going from down level to up level. So you can say this is bottom up. We are starting from bottom and then we are going to up part. So for example, officer, tailor, secretary will be counted into employee. Okay, and there would be customer. Again, employee and customer, that can be counted in one thing, that is person. Everyone is person. Okay. How can we know whether it's generalization or specialization in ER diagram without knowing the direction? Dhruv, why do you want to know without direction? Because the concept of generalization and specialization is connected with direction. If you are going from top to down, that means that is specialization. And if you are going from down to bottom to up, then that is generalization. So whenever we talk about generalization and specialization, these two words have to be in your mind. That is bottom up and top to down, top down. Okay. Okay, clear. Mehak, your doubt is clear? Ravi, clear. Okay. Okay. So now let us move to our next topic, that is aggregation. What is, first of all, what do you mean by aggregating something? That means you are connecting different data into one data set, that is aggregation, right? So here in example it is shown. See, these are the four entities: employee, company, department and loan. Okay. Now, if I am combining any entities, then that will be aggregation. Three different parts I will be combining. That is, these both are relationship, work and borrow. Okay. So here cannot connect to relationship. Aggregation will not connect to relationship. Okay. So how would we do that? We will combine all these entities, that is employee, company and department, into one single entity which is named customer. Okay. So here we have created single entity called customer. Okay. So what is this process called? Can you relate this to generalization or specialization? Can you relate this?
Specialization, ma'am.
No, this is
No,
generalization.
it is generalization, ma'am.
Yeah, this is generalization. Good. Why? Because what we are doing, we are creating one main group from subparts. Okay. If we will be creating subparts from main group, then that would be specialization. Okay. Very good. Now, what we have done here, we have connected customer with relationship of borrowing, loan. Okay. So this is aggregation, connecting different entities to relationship with other entity, that is aggregation. Okay, because relationship cannot be connected with another relationship, so we are doing this process. Okay, and here we can also clearly see the concept of generalization. These three entities are connected to one entity. Okay, this process of merging various entities into one single entity is called aggregation. Am I clear with it? Any doubt in aggregation part? Any doubt? Yes, clear. Okay. Very good. Chalo. So, all of you have to draw all these notations. Here I have shown every notations, whatever we have studied till now. What you have to do, draw this all notation in your page right now. And tomorrow, whatever definition I will give you, that you have to show to me. Okay, I am giving you 5 minutes of time. Please draw all this notation in your note. Or you can click picture, but to practice it, you have to draw in note. See, what we are doing here is we are trying to understand difference between different notation of different entities, attributes, relationship. Okay, see, entity is here. Entity is defined by one rectangle. Okay. Attribute by oval shape. Relationship by diamond shape. Then primary key attribute we are denoting with underline, that is primary key. Again, weak entity, payment, derived attribute, that is age, multi-valued, that is double oval, discriminating attribute that we are doing by underlining dash line. Then weak entity relationship, how it is formed by strong entity and by weak entity. By strong entity and by weak entity, we can get the result of weak entity relationship. Then specialization and generalization, top-down processes specialization, bottom-up processes. You can mention this arrow and you can write here so that you do not get confused when you read this note. Then we saw total participation, then we saw partial participation, then one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, many-to-many. Okay, please draw this. Any doubt anywhere, anyone? Yes, good question, Ramesh. Where are we using ER diagram or why we use ER diagram? Very good. See, in industry, when as a customer, if you are giving your project to some developer or some company that I want this kind of, you can say, project. Okay, for if you are handling one restaurant and if you want to give the project of restaurant to that person, then they will not directly start to create the project. Okay, there are some few steps by which they will be doing your or you can say developing your project. At that time, different diagrams that will be helping in understanding who is going to use the diagram. Okay, entities are the person or the thing which is used for your project. Okay, for example, online shopping system, why we took admin customer in entity, because they are the person who will be using your project. Okay, so as a customer or as a developer, first of all, you are not at all clear that who is going to use this. Okay, so this diagram will help you. If you will draw the diagram with complete process, then you will come to know that how these things are related, who are the person or what will be the entity of my project, or you can say of my system, if you are going to create some system. So at that time, we are drawing ER diagram to make people understand before developing the project. We need to be clear in our head, okay, that for whom we are doing the project, so that accordingly we will develop the project. So that ER diagram is used. Alvish is saying repeat total participation. Yeah, Alvish. Okay, what is total participation? See here, whenever something is compulsory. Now see, if I say that someone has taken loan from a bank, that means that some person would have taken the loan, right? If loan is taken, then compulsory it would be taken by some customer. Okay, other than customer, no one is going to take the loan. So that is total participation. It is compulsory that if loan is taken, then it will be taken by some customer. Okay, that is total participation. And what is partial participation? If I'm having account in bank and if I'm customer of bank, for me it is not necessary to take loan. Okay, so that is partial participation. It depends upon me. I want to take loan or I don't want to take loan. That is completely on me. So that is partial participation. But if something has occurred, some entity is existing, then obviously that would be existing with respect to other entity, means with respect to customer here. Okay, that is total participation. Am I clear, Alvish? Okay. Alvish, am I clear with your doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So here we have considered every notations, every concept of ER diagram, and now I'm expecting from you, every one of you have to draw ER diagram on restaurant system. Entities, you have to decide who will be the entities of restaurant management system. If you are going to make online payment, then you have to include bank also as an entity. Okay, so attributes of bank would be account number, which you can say a primary key, then name, then email ID, then contact number of that particular person. Okay, and other entities would be in restaurant management system would be customer, waiter, or you can say, let's not consider waiter in that, customer, cook, or you can say admin. These are the different entities in restaurant management system. Each and everyone have to draw restaurant management system diagram and have to present tomorrow. Okay, you have to present your screen tomorrow in which I can see your diagrams. Okay. So now here ER diagram for hospital management system is shown. In hospital management system, entities are considered as a patient, then medicine, then room, then nurse, employee, record, receptionist. These all are different entities. Okay. Now see, doctor is subdivided into, or you can say it is specialized into trainee, permanent, or visiting. Doctor can be visitor or trainer, or you can say permanent. Okay. This is specialization, or you can say generalization if we go in reverse direction. Now, attends, assigned, bill, governs, maintains. These are the relationship. Receptionist will maintain record. Then room will be assigned to some patient, or patient is assigned room, or you can say room will be governed by nurse, or nurse will govern room. Okay. Patient will pay bill for medicine, or medicine bill will be paid by patient. So these are the things by which ER diagram is connected. Every notations in ER diagram is connected. Click photo of this for your reference. You can click photo of this for your reference. See here, primary key is shown. Patient ID, then employee ID. Okay. Done. Click the snap of this snapshot, click to photo. Done. Okay. So now your ER diagram is given. So restaurant management you have to present tomorrow, and these are the ER diagrams which you have to practice at your home. Okay. So you please note down this definitions: hospital management, school management, library management, hotel management, and bus or airline or train reservation system. These are few common diagrams which are generally asked in GTU exam. Okay. See, tips for examination. In examination, if you want complete marks of diagram, because in diagram, if it is correct, no one can cut your marks. In theory, they can cut your marks, but in diagram, out of 7, if you will do diagram by your own way, then also it is high chance that you will get 5 to 6 minimum. You can get 7 by 7, but 5 to 6 at least you can get. Okay. See, tips are define minimum 4 entities with at least 4 attributes. So if you are defining 4 entities, then you have to define with 4 attributes. So entity patient would be having 4 attributes, entity doctor would be having 4 attributes, same way. Provide all types of attributes somewhere in any of the entities. That means you have to show each and every attribute, like simple attribute, then primary key attribute, then discriminating attribute, multivariate or derived attribute. Okay. So weak entity set, few mapping cardinalities. Mapping cardinalities one to one, one to many with arrow or single line. Okay, and you also have to show weak entity set. So if you draw this diagram by this way, then you can. It is high chance you will get at least 5 to 6 marks. I am sure if you will practice, you will get 7 by 7. But this is the least marks you can get. Okay. So here are some GTU questions which was asked from this chapter in GTU, different year. You have to write note on mapping cardinalities. That means you have to show one to one, one to many with proper example. Explain difference between weak and strong entity set. Explain difference between generalization and specialization. Whenever difference between these two things is asked, you have to write that generalization is which process? Bottom up, and specialization is top down. Okay. Write a note on constraints on specialization and generalization. Again, same question with different words. Explain aggregation in ER diagram with example. So you have to write example of aggregation. Draw ER diagram for bank management system. Then construct an ER diagram for a car insurance company whose customer owe one or more cars each year. Each customer, sorry. So here they have said that you have to make the relation one to many because one customer can owe many cars. Okay. Each car has associated with it 0 to any number of recorded accident. That means again you have to show accident also from 1 to many. Okay. Any doubt here? Any doubt here? No? Okay, so what definition? Okay, so in between lecture, what definition I gave you for ER diagram which you have to draw tomorrow? Write their name. Which definition I gave you to draw ER diagram? Restaurant management. Yeah. Now everyone tomorrow have to show this restaurant management system. Okay. Okay, chalo. So here we are, ma'am, can you upload this unit PPT up to this topic? Yeah, this unit is completed and I will upload PPT by 2 o'clock. Or you can say by 3 o'clock after completing our lectures and labs. Okay? Fine. Thank you. Please practice for ER diagram so that you can get maximum marks. Okay? Chalo, bye.